So the reason that I decided to do this, my mother was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer back in 2015, and being a nurse, I took some time off from work to take care of her, so I had a lot of spare time on my hands, and I can remember someone saying no one had paddled all 5 of the Great Lakes. And at the time I thought, I'm sure someone has. So I just was taking some time to research it, and I discovered that no one had. A few weeks before my mother died, she became really sad. There were so many things in her life she wanted to do, and she had never gotten the time to do it. She bought a grand piano wanting to learn to play the piano. It sat in her living room for 10 years and she never learned to play it. And there were some other things that she wanted to do too, and the pancreatic cancer hit so fast that she didn't have time to do any of that. So right before she passed away, she told me if there was anything in my life I ever wanted to do, any dream, that I needed to do it. And after the funeral, that sort of stuck with me. And one of the regrets in my life, because her point was you don't want to pass away and have regrets, and one of the regrets in my life was that it's not a regret, so I don't want to say that. It's not a regret. I made a choice early on in my life to get married and to have children and to be a mother, and I have no regrets for that. I love my children. I love the life that I have, but I gave up the opportunity to travel and to join the Peace Corps and to maybe have a different type of life where more of an adventurer. My father was an adventurer. He had traveled the whole world. He fought in World War II. He fought in the Korean War. He told me stories about traveling the world and going to different places. And there's a part of me that wonders if I would have been good at that, if I could have done that had I chosen a different path. So after my mom passed away, here was this information that I had that no one had done all 5 of the Great Lakes. I was wondering what regrets I would have, and I sort of wondered if I could have been an explorer, if I could have done something different with my life had I not gotten married and had children. And so I thought, I want to try this while I still can. I'm 50 years old, I have rheumatoid arthritis, and I wanted to try this while I still can. And so I thought, I'm going to try to see if I can be the first person to paddle all 5 of the Great Lakes and do something that no one else has ever done before. And in the process, not only do it for myself, but I've seen, working in the hospital, I've seen so many people with chronic illnesses. They come in and they've given up on life. It's hard to get them out of their chair. It's hard to get them out of their bed. They say, I hurt, I don't want to move. And I would try to tell them, you can't just sit in your chair. You can't just give up on life. And so there's so many facets to why I'm doing this. I wanted to see if I could do it, if I was strong enough to do it. I wanted to see if I'm the type of person that I think I am in the back of my head. We all have an image of who we are in the back of our heads, and I wanted to see if I'm that person or not. And I wanted to try to inspire people who I see coming into the hospital that have given up on life because of their chronic illnesses. And I can tell them all day long as a nurse, you have to get up, you have to move. But now I can be a role model for them and say, look, if I can do it with RA and paddle all 5 of the Great Lakes, which no one has ever done before, you can get up and walk your dog, you can get up and garden, you can get up and still do the things in life that you love too. And so I guess that pretty much answers the question.